show, and what I'd like to share with you is number one, the collard greens that I was able to purchase. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. So when you're out there shopping for them, I personally like to get the larger leaves, and even if they're kind of folded up, they're really easy to roll up into the wrap. So I have another bunch here that I bought. They're a little bit smaller. They're still serve the purpose. Now, depending on your type, you might eat one or two. I like to make a salad with it, but for intents of purpose today, just going to do the collard wrap. Hard, you could use lettuce. You could use anything else that suits your fancy. Make sense? Okay. If you have your nuts, I soaked the sunflower seeds overnight, okay, and then I drain them. I think in the recipe I said 2 cups to a half a cup of tahini, which is really a bit rich. So we're going to scale down the recipe a bit because you really don't want that much tahini. And in terms of your tahini, if you're lucky and you traveled, you've been able to sample all different kinds of tahini around the world like Dr. Graham. I myself have been venturing out. I tried this brand called Vintage, and you want to make sure that it's raw, not roasted. This one is from Lebanon, and I took the label off. I think it's called La Daya, but it's just really nice and easy to stir. The one I got locally at the health store is Cadia, and that one's just a little bit richer, and there's a lot of oil on top, so there's a lot more stirring involved. So it's up to you. You're not going to eat a ton of tahini, but find one that you really like, okay? My favorite treat is when I'm working a lot is to have apples. That's my favorite. So let's start. Hopefully organic, and then them. And if you're going to use them and they're still moist, it's perfectly fine. But you need to put them in the dehydrator and dry them again after you soak the nuts because they'll go moldy. Okay, so this is a half a cup. For all intents and purposes, if you're eating, if it's just you, I don't know how many people are going to share their meal tonight or this afternoon, but 2 cups will make quite a bit. So I'll just do the 2 cups. And if you don't want to use sunflower seeds, you could use almonds, but then we take out the tahini. Or you could do pumpkin seeds and we take out the tahini, okay? Because this is really kind of like a mock hummus. Okay,
Hey,
so
Shari,
let's get these out of the way.
you soak your sunflower seeds? You soak the sunflower seeds overnight?
Yes.
And why did you do that?
I drain them.
You did that to make
because that releases.
Did you do that for the
releases the end. I do it for a couple of reasons. One of them is it releases the enzyme inhibitors in the nuts, and the second reason is it's just easier to blend it up for the moisture. I've done it both ways.
For the texture.
I just kind of like this consistency better. For the texture, yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. Okay. So every time I'm making a meal, even if I have a recipe and I put the measurements in, I'm kind of the type of person that just makes it because I've been doing it so long that I don't always measure. But I always sample what I'm making because I start with less ingredients and then I add, because if I put too much ingredients, like the way it tastes, it could just be rather challenging to recorrect what I'm creating. So I'm just going to take the tahini that I said that I like the most. And in a regular chickpea, hummus recipe, you're using chickpeas, correct? So I don't really eat chickpeas. So I substitute the zucchini for the chickpeas. So is that clear? And it just tastes better because if I eat chickpeas, you know what happens? I get, oh, I prefer but you could soak the chickpeas and sprout them and create your own hummus, but that doesn't work for me either. So I just stay away from the things that I know that don't work for me. So I'm stirring up this lovely tahini. And I do have half a cup here, but I'm just going to do a half of that. Half of my half, because I really don't want that much fat in there. Now, I'm sure those of you that are in the kitchen have your favorite tools. This is one of my favorites. Number one, it scrapes really easily. You can use it for all kinds of purposes in the kitchen. It's really a little baker's tool, but it works perfectly in the food processor. Okay, zucchini.
Where did you get that, Shari?
If oh, I just go to kitchen stores wherever I go. I got this one in Salt Lake City. I don't remember. This is another favorite tool, and you see I hammer them. So I wait till they're not usable, and then I get new ones. But I love that one.
I've never seen that before.
This is really
nice.
my favorite. Really? Super fun, super easy to clean it.
Not one like that.
Take it with you. I have a bunch of fun little tools. This one is for avocados, you know, to scrape it out. This is a little mesh for garlic if you want to use that. This one I sometimes use in the Vitamix, or I might use it today to just as my spatula. And my other fun tool, I love to crush up either garlic or onion or any kind of vegetable I can crush with this. Okay, zucchini. Some people want to take the skin off of the zucchini. Personally, I don't mind. Mine are organic. I wash them. All we're going to do is take the top off and the little bottom. Now, I'm composting, and I think you are too, Brian, so I save all of my scraps. So I'm just going to, can you see what I'm doing? I'm just gonna, okay.
Yep, it's in camera.
I don't really recall what I put in the recipe of how many zucchinis I said to use, but we're just I'm gonna put 2 full zucchinis chopped up in this processor. And I don't know what kind of processors you guys have, but I just got this fun new Hamilton Beach one, and it has this little stirrer in it, which is kind of fun. It moves everything around pretty easily. Okay. Yeah. 2 zucchinis. Questions?
Yes, right?
Okay.
Work in the Vitamix as well.
Sorry again.
We can use the Vitamix as well, right?
Oh, you can use a Vitamix, absolutely. I just find it easier if I'm making a pate or a spread. It's just easier to get the ingredients out. But the Vitamix works fine. You might just have to add a little bit more water or liquid to it. It's up to you.
Right, like if you had that much,
Okay. Can you see this? This little spinner turns everything around, which is really kind of nifty because the other machine I had, I'd had to take the top off and then I'd have to use my little tool and scrape it. But this makes it so much easier. And I got this for like, I don't know, $35. It's pretty reasonable. Now, Larissa said I didn't say to add any, excuse me? Lemon.
That's a nice
if you
feature.
have a little bit of lemon, oh yes, it's great. I love it. It's a fun, this was my Hanukkah present. Okay, so in terms of if you don't have any lemon, you don't have to use it, but I apologize that I did not put it in the recipe, but let's just put it teeny bit of lemon in there. I'd say 2 tablespoons. Also, I'm going to eliminate garlic in my recipe because when I eat garlic, that disturbs my stomach. It's certainly up to you if you want to add that kind of flavor into your recipe. I'm just staying away from it. Okay, we're going to just turn this on again. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Take this little gadget off. Okay, see that consistency? Where's my spoon? So it's nice and thick. That's what I'm going for, because if it's too soupy, then it's going to just ooze out of the collard green and make a super mess.
And would you tell us one more
Now,
time, is it just 3 ingredients, Shari?
go ahead.
Or you added lemon?
So
Would you tell us
far,
one more time the
so far,
ingredients
3
in
ingredients.
there?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Soaked sunflower seeds, tahini, zucchini, and lemon. Now, I personally love 4. I said 3, it's 4. I apologize. So I really enjoy cilantro. So you have a choice of either putting it in the mixture or putting it in the burrito or doing both. So your choice. I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro into the mixture. And I use the entire cilantro, I use the stem and everything. That's up to you again if you want to de-stem it. I don't mind the texture. So let's just do a couple more. Just a handful of cilantro. If you like basil, like arugula, if you like any other herbs, you can do that as well. I do have quite a few other vegetables here, but I just want to keep it pretty simple. But if you wanted to add red pepper, you could. I did put onion in the recipe. You could add onion. I'm just going to blend this up again.
In the dome of silence
Okay.
right now. That's why you can't hear the food process.
Okay, are we back? Right, I know that's pretty amazing how you do that. No noise. This is a pretty quiet processor as well. So what I'd like you to do, if you have blended all this up, is to give it a little taste to see if you like what you've made so far. So I'm going to put a little bit more lemon into the mixture. I like mine a little bit tangy. Put this back on. Now, if you have any herbs, you could add that into the mixture as well. I do have some curry. I do have some Mexican fiesta. I have chili powder, paprika, oregano. If you choose, you can do that. I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. I need another spoon here. I'm just going to mix this up. Take another taste. Okay. For my pleasure, that's the way I like it to taste. You guys can do more. You can add some spice to it. There's no right or wrongs, particularly in how you like to season your food. That is really your choice. Okay, so we're gonna go on to, I need to change this out because it's a little bit messy, and get my other cut board. I'm gonna switch that out. Okay, take this little doohickey off. And this is when I get to use this fun little device. So what do you want to put in your collard greens is the question beyond our little pate here. So I actually have some microgreens that were grown locally. I love microgreens. They're fresh, full of enzymes. This is an actual spring mix here, a salad mix. So there's some broccoli. What else did a little bit of, I forget which one I bought. There's a broccoli one. There's a spicy one that's got some alfalfa, some radish, some fenugreek. I didn't get that one. I just got a basic salad mix here. Now I also have kohlrabi, and kohlrabi to me is a delicious, fun vegetable. And if you were to peel it, just take all the outer skin off, and you could just make nice little cuts, and we can inside the collard green. But I'm just putting this off to the side for now. I also have some carrots, and I think having some carrots in this wrap would be really nice. And I would just take my peeler, and I'd have really thin slices to put in my collard green. So that's the first one that I'd add. So I'm just going to just do a few of these here. Now these are pretty small. You could get some bigger carrots, it'd be probably a lot easier. But I have this left over in the kitchen, so I'm going to use what I have. And a lot of times that's what I do, is find what's in the kitchen and just be creative with the foods, the vegetables or fruits that I have. And the amount that we're making here, we'll be able to make quite a few wraps. So if you have your own little peeler, that's all you need to do. And we'll do, let's just do one more actually. Pretty simple. Get your kids to help you do it if you have any. They look really pretty, they're decorative. So a lot of people are concerned about their nutrition right now. They're concerned about building their immunity. Some people are concerned about calories. You know, I like to eat because it tastes good. I have a variety of foods that I'm eating every day. I want to supply my body with a variety of fruits and vegetables so that I'm nourishing my cells. Greens are number one, and right now, mango season, I just went and got some fruits and some fresh little mangoes. So right now, we have a plethora of foods that we can eat. All right, to go to the next item, what do we want to add? If you have a red pepper, or if you have a tomato or any other vegetable that you might want to use, a cucumber, if we cut all of our inside vegetables in a nice skinny lengthy way, then they'll fit really nicely in the collard green. So I'm just going to take an English cucumber, cut it in half, and I'm just going to make my long strips. Okay. I'm using a pretty short knife. If you have a longer knife, it actually would be better. Okay, can you see my cucumbers and see my carrots?
Yep, we sure can.
Now,
Beautiful.
if we wanted to add, thank you. So let's just say we want to add a few red pepper strips. Okay. So we have carrots, red peppers, cucumbers. I'm going to leave the tomato out for right now. Okay. So let's take one of our collard greens. I think I'll take this one. This is a nice size. So you see how the leaves are coming apart a little bit? I'm just going to actually cut the stem off, so it's a little bit more even. So let's get our spoon. We're going to spoon out some of our filling. We're just going to put it straight down in the middle. Can you see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so let's put some of our accoutrements in here, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of cucumber. Brian, last time you made zucchini rolls, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so unfortunately I missed that show, but so that's another fun wrap that you can do is you do what you did. So this is pretty simple. Let's add a few cilantros in the mix. You could add more cilantro, but we're going to do the microgreens. Okay, so that's in the middle there. I'm just going to push this towards the center with this tool. Then I'm going to roll it. So I'm going to take the first part of that leaf and roll it up. Very simple, very fun. That one worked out. Sometimes they don't always work out. Okay, and if you want, if you had a toothpick, you could put a toothpick in there, but there we go. So let me get my plate. This is my nice serving dish. I'm going to put that on here. Let's make another one. How's everybody doing out there?
Doing great. You're
Do you
doing
have
a great
questions?
job, Shari.
Okay, so this one has a little hole in it, but that's okay. No problem. If your collard greens have holes and you like lettuce the way I do, and I eat about, I don't know, 6 heads of lettuce a day because I just love the greens and it's so yummy. This one looks kind of sad, but this is the middle of my lettuce. I do have other quality romaine, but for all intents and purposes, this is what I have. So I'm going to put that over that little hole, okay? Yeah, it's a lettuce patch, good one. So that's a little lettuce patch. Okay, so now we're gonna do some more of our filling.
Hey, Shari.
Yes.
Oh, yes, there we are.
I can hear you.
I don't want to interrupt your flow, but okay, I don't want to interrupt your flow, but would you take the last wrap that you made, cut it in half down the middle so that we can see what the inside looks like?
I can cut it and, oh, yes, can you see that? But I can cut it in the middle, sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the view we wanted. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're good with that? Are we okay?
That's perfect. I just wanted to get that
Okay,
view from the end.
so
That's when it's prettiest.
okay, we'll do it like that. You can fill them up a lot fatter too. You know, you can make these pretty big. So I'll make another one that's a little bit larger. So you can add whatever you want, right? So if we want to add a little bit more cilantro in here, I would just pick those leaves. You're saying yes. My sweetheart says, yeah, put some more cilantro in there. Load it up. I personally love arugula. I could eat an arugula salad and I would throw tons of arugula. So that's about as much spice as I like. Okay, if you want to add tomatoes, you want to add anything else, it's really up to you. But we're going to take this. Remember, I have a hole and I have my lettuce patch. So now I'm going to put it towards the other side where the hole is. And I'm going to turn it around. And now I'm going to wrap it and roll it. And you can see the holes right there, but we're covered. So again, just cut that in half and show you what this one looks like. Okay.
Beautiful.
So when you place it down, place it so where the open leaf is on the bottom. Otherwise, it could fall apart on you. Like I said, I do have other spices. I have onions. So do you like onions, Lou? You want me to put some onions in there? Some of my little green onion. I'm just going to do like 3, because these are strong. I'm just going to do 3 little onion pieces. We still have carrots, we have cucumbers, we have red pepper. How about if we add a little bit of tomato in here this time? Who doesn't love tomatoes? So keep them nice and skinny.
Daniel doesn't like tomato.
Who doesn't like a homegrown tomato? Holy cow. They're hard to get though.
That's okay.
Everything's
more for us.
They are hard to get. Yes. Okay. So let's take another collard green. Excuse the reach. Oh, I like this one. A lot of time, even though it has the holes in it, we're going to do some patchwork with it, but it's already folded up, ready to go. I used to do festivals and events, and I would say probably 100 of these per event. So I'd buy a case of collard greens. I get almonds. I'd fill it up and do a mock tuna inside, and all night long I would be making these. So I love them, and I kind of got out of the habit of eating them. So I think that tends to happen, and if you're eating locally and what's in season, then you kind of follow suit. But it's good to change it up. It's really important to get a variety of your rainbow foods. I'm going to put another little piece of lettuce in there, or the other option, what you can do is double up. So let's do that. So I'll just take another collard green and I'm going to stick it in there, and now you don't see the holes, right? So we've covered it up. All right, so I'm going to make this one a really thick one. And again, it's really up to you to decide what you want the filling to be. If you don't have tahini, you use your own sesame seeds. If you don't personally like sunflower seeds, you want to use almonds or pumpkin seeds, or if you just want to do a pure vegetable inside, you can do that as well. Another great option is using like carrot pate. If you do carrot juice and you take the pulp, you can turn that into a whole nother type of dish. And that consistency is fun to use, and you can put that inside the collard green. So your filling opportunities are endless. So I'm going to put a little bit more in here. I'm going to make this one a really thick one. Okay, I'm going to put our carrots in here. Our cucumbers. A few little sprigs of the onion. Now we're going to put some tomato in here. And some of our little carrot slices. Now, if I really wanted to spice it up, I could put some seasoning on top. I'll make this a mega one. I'm just going to use a teeny bit of curry powder. That was a very, very teeny bit. Okay. Now, again, I'm just going to roll this one up. And that's a big, thick one. Cut it in half. Look at that. That came out very nice.
Beautiful.
Okay. Let's do another one. Anybody have any questions? Once you start doing these, same with what you were doing, Brian, when you're, go ahead.
What was the festival that you made 100 of these collard wraps?
Oh, there. It was called the, oh my gosh. What was the name of that festival, Lou, that we would do in Park City? It was in Salt Lake, like the Earthwell Festival. And it was, it's out there on Google. It was just a really fun festival of local craftspeople, and there were a couple other raw food people there, and music, local artists, local booths of soaps, and all kinds of fun stuff. It was a really great event, and actually, maybe I was the only one doing these. It was a while ago. It was super, super fun. It was very well received. I also made some raw energy balls, and people thought they were like the raw cookies, but it was super, super fun. But I kind of have gotten away from that.
Is it still running?
Okay, carrots.
Shari, do you think the festival is still running?
Well, I think any festival's running right now because of the vid, but beyond that, yes, there's a lot of events in Florida. We do a lot of health and vitality events. I'd have to check it out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a lettuce leaf on top, and it's a smaller one, but again, so I'm gonna kind of push it towards the middle, and then I'm gonna roll it and push it in there. Okay, now I didn't completely cover that little hole, so it might ooze out just a tad.
Mine look like caterpillars. I didn't cut them yet, and they look like a wrinkly caterpillar. Ooh.
Those are awesome. Those are fabulous. So far, this is what we have. But if I wanted to kind of change what I have in here, I could throw tomatoes in. Let's just play with it. Are you guys ready to play some more? It's going to make it a little soupier, though. All right, I'm going to put a tomato in here. Okay, I love it. Kohlrabi. I think this is a kohlrabi and jicama. Those are wonderful vegetables that rarely get eaten. The jicama is the Mexican potato is what they call it. And what you can do is just peel that skin off. You can just chop it up, put it in a container of water in the refrigerator. It's nice and crunchy, and it's a little bit starchy, but it's not, it'll take on the flavor actually of whatever you mix with it. So let's say you want to take this particular kohlrabi or even the jicama and make French fries. So you could use some turmeric and some paprika, and you could soak it. You could put it on the dehydrator, and there you got your own new French fries. So I'm just gonna, I cut these up so I can put it in the next one. And we'll just blend that with the tomato in it and we're good. Where is my little... So I'm just gonna turn this on. You see the difference with this particular processor? If I put the gadget in there, it doesn't fly up into the lid. So this is I really like using my gadget with that because it controls it. So now I have to push all this back down.
Yes, you don't have to do that.
Shar, will you
Again.
use it once with the gadget? Show us.
Sure,
Thank
I can
you.
find where I put it.
Is
So
it-
here's my
that's a
little...
really impressive. That's a really impressive little piece of kitchen kit.
And you know what? It's really inexpensive. So when people say, I want to eat healthy, but it's so expensive, well, let us help you find the right equipment, help you how to shop and buy your produce at a more reasonable price. It's really
No, I
important.
am.
All right, so I put that bad boy on there. There it is. It just is
Thank you
simple.
so very much.
There's my little
Yeah, that's
spider.
really cool.
Take it off. It is cool. It's a nice gift. I had the other one for probably 20 years. It was a very old school one, and it just died. Okay. Let's do one more. So Larissa's not cutting hers, which is perfectly fine. She's just keeping them whole. But I think they're just so pretty.
I'll just
Okay,
chew on them slowly.
You do. You will need to chew on it slowly. This is pretty hardy, okay? This is not something that you're going to eat on a regular basis because there's a lot of fat in this. There's a lot of, you know, the nuts and the tahini. So I would consider this a treat. I would also have a nice salad with this meal. And prior to this wonderful collard wrap, I would have a nice mango drink, probably an hour before I would eat this. And then I'd have my lettuce salad. All right, so I'm gonna put the jicama in here, right? Oh, these are just 3 little jicama strips, the carrot, the tomato, and this time I'm gonna put some more microgreens in here. Can you see? It really is so pretty prior to even cutting it up. And I paid $4 for 2 bunches of the collard greens. So, and they're organic. And I'm getting
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraps out of 1 bunch of collard greens for $2. And if I used all of them, the microgreens that I purchased locally were $3.99. My cilantro was $2.99. The kohlrabi was $2.99 for 4 in a bunch. Okay, that's not an expensive meal. The tomatoes were $2 for 4 of the large beefsteak, and then the zucchini were 6 for $2. So I get them locally from this Mexican vendor, and the prices are great. I also shop at Sprouts because they have some great organic produce there, and I also get it from another local health food store called Chuck's, and everything is organic there. I don't typically go to our local grocer just because there's so many people, and it's not as much fun. I like to shop and have fun and talk to people. All right, so here we go. We're gonna roll that again. Simple, easy, fast. Okay. And there we go.
Very pretty.
Squeeze those on there. They are pretty, aren't they? If you felt like you wanted to take the remaining amount of this and you didn't want to do another wrap, we could stuff it in a pepper. So you could take that, boom, and then stick it right there. And how pretty is that?
Wow. Nice presentation.
Or I could just put my microgreens in there. I could put a lot of fun different things in there. I could even, unfortunately, this one's moldy. So I'm not going to use this one at all because when I opened it up, it's all black on the inside. And so I'm just going to compost that bad boy. That's unfortunate, but it happens. And this pepper I already cut. So I actually could just take the top off. And it will still sit nicely in the middle, okay? And again, let's just put some microgreens in there. And let's just put a couple of our kohlrabi in there. You could put a sauce
Very
in
nice.
there, a completely different sauce. You could, you know, if we were really decadent, we could drizzle a little bit of tahini on the top of these, or if we blended up tomato and tahini on top, it'd be a very delicious, rich meal. So for all intensive purposes, I think we've made quite a few. How are you guys doing out there?
Doing great. Is it time to eat?
Dr. T.
This
Hi,
is nice,
Letitia.
Shari.
Is it time to? Oh my goodness. Hers are
You like?
huge. Great job. I think they're gorgeous. So did you didn't have any
Shari,
tahini, use sesame seeds?
yeah, use sesame seeds. Just without, yeah, the
Sesame
sesame
seeds?
seeds.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you taste it as you
Shari,
made
can
it
you
and
make?
you enjoyed what?
Yes. Really good. Yep. Beautiful.
Say again.
Delicious.
You were going to ask a
Delicious.
question.
Delicious.
Delicious. She says it's delicious. Can I see what other people have made? You're sounding nice and Jewish. It's delicious. It's so delicious. Can we see what other people have been made? Have made? I'm going to take a picture of mine. You guys
Oh,
take
that's
a
a good
picture
idea.
of
Please.
yours. Take a picture.
Pictures and email. Let's cook raw at gmail.com.
Right, if you send
Yes.
those in.
We
So
will put your pictures in our video, replay video.
So let's recap here, okay? So collard greens, but you can use lettuce. You can use anything else as another base. Tahini, sunflower seeds, a little bit of cilantro, lemon, and then I added a couple things after my original batch. Whatever you want to cut up and put inside the collard greens, keep it simple. I did carrots, red peppers, tomatoes, and then if you want your microgreens or sprouts, and any kind of fresh herb is always better than the other seasoning. And these are frontier herbs, they're organic, they're non-irradiated. If you're going to go that route, make sure that they're very clean. You don't want the irradiated anything, quite honestly. In terms of your tahini choices, find a raw one that you enjoy. And there are so many out there. Like I said, I've tried 4 or 5. I know that Dr. Graham has a rather better experience with getting different tahinis from around the world. So if you have any input, Dr. Graham, about the tahini, I don't know if he can hear us.
Well,
There he is.
I think, yeah, no, I don't have it. I think you did well. Just to show, like you said, there's different kinds. There's got to be 500 tahinis available. And I'm particularly fond
And
of
they don't all taste the
Lebanese
same.
tahini. They all
And that's
taste
the one I
different.
use.
They all taste different. They are very sensitive to microclimate, so even the same seed grown in a
Yes,
different place will taste different. But
absolutely.
it's not that hard to find raw. The funny thing about raw tahini, though, is that in some parts of the world they automatically roast their sesame seeds, and in other parts of the world they automatically don't. So in many places in the Middle East where they don't tend to roast the seeds, they would mention if it was roasted seeds, whereas in other parts of the world they would mention if it was raw. Uh, so just because it doesn't mention that it's raw doesn't automatically mean that it's not. You kind of have to do your homework, little
Right.
due diligence. It's easy to always contact every single manufacturer, which was good that you showed the different manufacturers. Every single manufacturer gives contact details, and you can call them up and ask them, and they're more than happy to tell you, oh yes, we heated it to 130 or we heated it to 180. They know for sure they processed it in order to make it. They know if they use salt in the process or not, and some mention without the use of salt, and some say they'll tell you. It's
Hmm.
based on what's available in your area. It's worth doing the due diligence.
Well, it certainly is, because if you buy something and you don't do that and you take that jar home and it's roasted, you're really disappointed. And then it goes back on the shelf. I did find this sprouted pumpkin seed butter. This is really very, very decadent. So I wouldn't eat a lot of it. I don't tend to eat a ton of fat, but tahini tends to be one of my favorite fats, and coconuts and avocados come in second and third. So I kind of go in waves of what I'm drawn to eat, but I will tell you, I make sure I have my fruit every day, my smoothies, and then I make a big green salad every night, and I can consume a couple of these. But I got to make sure I've got my exercise in for the day when I'm eating something hearty like this. So you got to earn your food, really important. So I guess it's
Try
probably
out,
time to
Donna. Wait, I want to show you.
let's eat it. Let's eat
Artisana
it. We
usually
can't.
found in most health food stores. Artisana raw tahini.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right there. You'll
Yes.
love it.
Thank you.
It's
That's
really good.
awesome. Artisana. Yeah, vintage came. That one was pretty good. I enjoyed that one. All right, so let's manja. I'd like to know how you are how yours came out and how you like how they taste.
Well,
So I
Shari, I
don't
just
if
wanted
I go to
again, I
sit
wanted to
down, I have
interrupt
to
your
turn.
flow, if I can, just to let you know that
Go
you might
ahead.
not see you might not see the chat screens,
No, I
but
can't.
you're getting some
Okay.
fantastic comments, just fantastic comments. I just wanted to read a very nice, Shari, beautiful presentation, um, good ideas. Is really good idea using the pepper. Mention also you could use the long, thin, sweet peppers like the Ramiros, and if you stuff one of those, then you can still eat it as if it was a wrap.
Yes.
So, but you're getting all kinds of really positive comments.
Okay.
and it's just, I just wanted
Questions?
you to know. Yeah, this was a really
Thank you.
sweet presentation. Would you consider making a low fat and a high fat version of this dish simply by varying the amount of vegetables that you wrapped around that you used to wrap with? So if it was mostly vegetables inside the
Absolutely.
collard greens with just a little spread, I figure that's what you'd make for
Yes,
yourself, and then you'd give me the one that was super rich.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And I tried to address that in the beginning. This is not something that I would eat all the time. I would prefer to have more vegetables and less nuts and less tahini. So here would be my option too. I would chop up a bunch of lettuce, tomatoes, and cilantro, and what's my other favorite vegetable? Cucumber. And I would throw that all into the wrap, and I would make a dressing, maybe with the tomato, tahini, lemon, and that would be it. And that is what I would eat because I just love my greens. So, but this is going to be great. So thank you, Doug. That's a really valid point because people are concerned about fat and following 80-10-10. So let me move this out of the way and cut this open and see. So if I were to cut it again and make the little baby one, see that? All right, let's take a bite.
I'm eating my caterpillar.
Oh my, she made a really big one. That's awesome. All right, we'll call them caterpillars.
Mm.
The collard greens are great. The only way when I was growing up that I heard about collard greens, I lived in Cincinnati, was you were supposed to cook them. You know, it was more collard greens with, I don't know, olive oil, onions. I never ate them. I'd never eaten a collard green until I became a vegan. Isn't that sad? So when I found out I could wrap them and do different things with them, I'm like, wow, I just really love the texture and the taste of the collard green. And like I said, with chard, there's just so many options. It's endless, right?
I think collard greens are happy that you become vegan.
What did you say? I do. I really like the mock tuna version as well. I swear it tastes like tuna fish, and I don't like tuna fish. But I mean, to use almonds, chopped celery, chopped onions, blend that up, put a little seasoning in there, a teeny bit of garlic, and we'll come over here and say hi. Oh, okay. I'm going to feed my family. All right. Let me find the one that I don't know which one it is. Try there. There you go, sir. Feeding my family. Okay. Other questions? Herbs make a great raw
It was
tahini.
delicious.
I'm sorry, I can't read that.
Sorry, it was great. They look good. They taste good. They were easy to make. Yes, thank you very much.
They are easy to make. Yes, thank you all very much.
Great job, Shari.
So if you guys want to find
Everything
me, this is Rawsome Living. That's what I call what I do. Rawsome Living is my website. But this was super fun, and I really appreciate the opportunity to make fun foods. So I
Well,
hope
we
everyone
appreciate
has
Coming on the
enjoyed
show, and this
their.
was beautiful. There's something about being able to handle your food and then still eat it without your hands getting dirty. So this whole thing with wraps, I mean, it's why people like sandwiches in the first place, and wraps and burritos and whatnot, because there's something about, you know, originally we were designed to hold our food in our hand and eat it. And it's nice to be able to do that without us getting our hands dirty, because we like to be clean. But so this is a great way to get us to eat something that's saucy and full of vegetable matter, but you can still hold it in your hand and eat it. So there's a pleasant experience that goes on. You know, there's hardly anybody that doesn't like to eat a wrap like this, because it just feels good to hold it in your hand. So thank you
Mhm.
very,
You're
very
right.
much, Shari. You did a
It's much
great
more
job.
fun, isn't it? Well, thank you all. Super fun. Super Sunday.
Thank you very much. All
Namaste.
right.
Thank you.
Thank